Today, we're going to learn the basics of stock, like how to buy it, how you make money from it, and how you can get started with as little as $100. I'm Shaheedah Hill, getting you over the hill to wealth. So we're going to use Netflix as an example today because a lot of people are familiar with Netflix. They have the service, they've heard of it before. So we're going to use Netflix. So Netflix, the value of Netflix as of November 22nd, 2024 is $897.48 per share. And I'm pulling all of this information from Google Finance because Google Finance really makes it easy for people to understand, what they're looking at is well organized. So Netflix stock is, again, $897.48 per share. And this was their stock price at the close of the trading day. And you can trade, most stock exchanges are open in the United States 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And Netflix trades on the NASDAQ. Most U.S. stocks will trade on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. And they usually have abbreviations, so none of them get confused with one another if they have similar names. So Netflix's abbreviation is NFLX, and you can see that at the top. Now, we're going to go over to some of the things on the side as well. So what we're looking at this chart is a 1-day chart, but you also can look at a 5-day chart, a 1 month, 6 month, year to date, 1 year, 5 year, or max, because at some point, Netflix went from a privately held company to a public company, and they allowed the general public to buy stock in that company. So, and that's usually called an IPO, an initial public offering. So if you're looking at the max, they're going to show you when Netflix started to be traded publicly until today. And on the right, some of these other numbers, you have the previous close. So the last time the stock market closed, Netflix was valued at $883.85. The day range is how much it fluctuated in this one day. It was between $877.24 and $908. And then the year range is the lowest it's ever been for the year and the highest it's ever been. And that's $445.73 and at the highest, $908. So it actually reached its highest so far on November 21st. The market cap is if you had all of the shares that were being held that people own times the value, that will give you the market cap. Their market cap is $383.63 billion. And then the average volume, that's how much trading is going on average for the day, is 3.68 million. And then the PE ratio, that means price over earnings. So price over the earnings per share, like how much the company is actually earning. And then that'll give you a ratio. The average ratio is about 20 to 25. This is on the high end, but it really depends on what industry you're in. So sometimes a higher PE ratio could mean the growth that the company is going to have. But you always can do your research to see what, if you're thinking about investing, you want to do as much research as possible because you want to buy something that you think is going to go up in value. So you want to research some of those PE ratios. And then the primary exchange, again, is the NASDAQ. So this is how you can get some of the information about the companies you're thinking about investing in. You'll get the stock price, how much the stock has fluctuated in value over, the day, the month, the year. And then they'll usually have news stories as well, like what's happening with that company and anything that you can get to inform you as to if this is a good investment for you or not. All right. I also wanted to pull up Bumble as well because just to show you a different example, Bumble is a dating website and that stock is only $8.18. So even though in this example, we're going to talk about how to get started with $100, you probably couldn't buy all of Netflix. You couldn't buy one share of Netflix stock with $100, but you could buy a few shares of, for example, Bumble stock for $100. So I just want to give you an example. All stocks are going to be valued differently. And so you may have some opportunities with some less expensive stocks. So let's go over our example of how we would make money with our Netflix shares. So let's assume a year ago on November 22nd, 2023, you bought 100 shares of Netflix stock for And at the time, Netflix stock was $478 per share. So you would have spent $47,800. But now, November 21st, 2024, your 100 shares are worth 89,748. So that would be a profit of 41,948. Now, a lot of you are thinking, okay, I just have $100. I just want to get my feet wet. I just want to see how this works. There are some brokerage sites, apps, websites that allow you to buy fractional shares of stock. So if you don't have a lot of money, but you still want to invest in Netflix, you could buy a portion of a share of Netflix stock. And sites like Webull and Fidelity allow you to do this. And a lot of times it's usually no money to open the account, but then you have to fund the account to actually make a stock trade. And you would trade during pretty much normal business hours, 9:30 to 4 o'clock. You could put in the trade after hours, but it wouldn't actually trade until the next trading day. So again, there's no weekends, no holidays. So it would go in at the next trading day. But those are good sites to get your feet wet, learn more about stock investing. And again, individual stock investing is pretty risky. That's why there are other options that are more diversified. Don't put all your money in one area. And we'll talk about that in future videos. If you have any questions, please put in the comments. Please like and subscribe to my channel for new videos every week.